Hi and welcome to The Act, the show where we create an act for you. And we do that by using these 4 dice that Jamie had made. The first one is what we call the budget dice, everything from £10 to 200 plus, which basically means unlimited. The next one is our sort of situational dice. So table magic, strolling magic, impromptu parlour and so on. Then we have the sort of caveat dice. This has got six different things on it. So Alexan product, cards, mentalism, organic props, coins, and so on. And this would be what we call the inclusion or exclusion dice. So this will have must include or must not include. So I'm going to roll these dice and we will see what we got. So the first one I'm going to roll is the budget. This is always the scary one. So we'll give it a roll. And we've got £50. So we got a budget of £50. That's all we can spend. We try not to go over it. Now we're going to have a look at what the performing situation or scenario is. And that is question mark. So that's anything of my choice. Then we're going to go for what does it include or not include. It will be cards. So now we're going to see must include or must not. I'm hoping it must not. Right, must not include cards. We've got a budget of £50 and I can choose the performing scenario. I'm going to choose that in a moment. I'll let you know what that is, but I'm presuming it's going to be close up. Okay, that's what I'm thinking, but I might be wrong. So £50 budget. And right, first things first, I'm going to get myself a little stack of possibles. Okay, so my idea is I've only got £50 to spend. So I'm going to try and get as many items as I can, probably about 4 or 5, because the act I want to create, as usual, should consist of 3 effects. Beginning, middle, end. Okay, so I'm going to give myself a selection, then I'm going to break down that selection. So I'm going to avoid cards, obviously, because we did say no cards. So I'm going to look into the Amazing Magic range, because one of the things that springs to mind, actually, there's a couple of bits that spring to mind, and that is this. Oh, and even this. Okay, there's some really good stuff right there. To be fair, I could do it all with the Amazing Magic range if I wanted, because there's some really strong stuff there and I could get a great free effect act for less than 50 quid. Okay, I'm going to stick with those for the moment. They're not cards, right? Okay. Got to ask that question because Jamie can be quite annoying sometimes. Oh, okay. Hello, Emma. Hello. Okay. Do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Right. Do you know what? Any of these would be great. Any of these will be great. So I'm thinking parlor magic. All right. So I'm thinking a situation where I'm standing behind a table or sitting behind a table. We have an audience in front of us. So the difference, sort of the mid-range between close-up magic and stage magic. So we're going to perform in a nice parlor setting, maybe 30 people. Now, you can get a fantastic parlour act, free routine. So we're not talking about a big 2-hour show or anything like that, but we're talking about if you were going on doing a 15-minute spot or a 10-minute spot, whatever it is, you could get a really good one for less than £50. And I tell you what, I think I'm going to stick with probably just the Amazing Magic range. Now, I know the Amazing Magic range is a range of products that we've designed for beginners, but I tell you what, these are so powerful, really powerful, that I would feel very confident doing these in a paid gig. In fact, a couple of weeks ago, we had an open day on the Saturday where a lot of magicians come in, and this is no word of a lie, a lot of them, almost all of them, walked out with something from the Amazing Magic range, and most of them walked out with a pile of stuff. And I tell you, one of the effects that blew them away was UFO Coin with crystal coin case. This is a killer effect, whether you're a beginner or whether you're a pro magician. The props themselves are plastic, obviously, but that adds to it. If you're a pro, you can really build that up, as this is one of the first tricks I ever saw. In fact, it was one of the first tricks I ever bought. I still don't know how it works, you know, and because the props don't look like these expensive fancy props, and it does look a bit like a kid's trick, the magic that's happening is really impactful and really strong, that it elevates the magic because the props don't look like they can be doing anything. I'm going to put these back, even though sponge balls are always a killer. All right, no, I'm not going to put them back. I'm going to leave them there for a minute. I'm going to put this back. I'm going to put this back. So now I'm going to create an act out of these. That will definitely be in because I can use 2 people for this. All right, so this will definitely be in. Professor's Nightmare, I think, has to go in because it's a brilliant intro routine, because it's going to happen up here to the whole audience. Do the Professor's Nightmare. If I had more budget, I would go for Nightmare Recharge because it's a modern take on it. But I haven't got that budget, so I'm going to go for Professor's Nightmare. Brilliant intro effect. You can do it up here, perform it to the whole audience. That's trick number 1. And then I think this has to be the grand finale. So it's what do I put in the middle? And we've got some really good choices here. So we could have sponge balls, which will get the 2 people up, because you could do a nice routine with 2 people if you wanted to, or do it on 1 person. We could do something like hopping dice, which is a beautiful bit of magic that's happening up here. Looks really, really good, really strong, and it's a lovely bit of magic that they can just watch and enjoy rather than having to really participate in. Or you could go down the mentalism route and choose Mystic Chips or the Amazing Mind Sticks. Now, any one of these would fit in the middle of this routine. So I think I'm going to go for that. I think I'm going to go for that. What would you say, Jamie? What would you choose?
I really like Mind Sticks. That's probably one of my favourites.
Yeah.
From the range. So I would have gone. Yeah, I think you've done it right. So I would hand that out at the beginning.
Yep. You can't.
Oh no, of course you can't.
No.
Then I wouldn't.
That's why you're holding the camera. I'm doing the act. But no, the thing is, you're right. Any one of these tricks will fit in that middle spot. It really depends what you want to do, because this is something that they can just watch and enjoy, and it's a routine that you could make slightly longer. So it's a quick routine, but you could most probably do it anywhere from a minute to 3 minutes. Whereas this, if you wanted to fill 4 or 5 minutes, you could most probably fill 4 or 5 minutes with this. So these are interchangeable. This, once again, this is slightly quicker, gets someone up and gets them involved. But this is sort of one phase, whereas this can be 3 or 4 phases. So this is a matter of choice, really, as to which one of these you put in. Jamie would go Mind Sticks, which is a great shout. I would probably go with this one because I think it's just completely different to anything. This one people are watching. This one you can get one person up to examine the dice or whatever if you really want. Or they're just watching. This one you get 2 people up. You've got the grand finale of the thing ending up in here. And I know what Jamie was saying about that time delay, handing this out at the beginning. Obviously you can't, but what you can do is, you know, you hand that out. To be fair, you could, Jamie, you are right, because you could start and end with this. And to do that, what you would do is you go, ladies and gentlemen, before we get started here today, I want someone that's got a 5p coin or a 10p coin, whatever it might be. We're going to seal it away in here. You're going to sign it, seal it away in here. You're going to hold on to that. Can you just hold it between your hands? We're going to get back to that later on. And in fact, I've got something for you as well. Can you hold on to this for me? That's brilliant. We'll get back to that. Now you can go into Professor's Nightmare. Then you can do your middle thing. And now you come full circle back to this. And you say, now, right at the beginning, remember, right at the very beginning, I gave you something to hold. Have you still got it? Yep. Then I borrowed a coin off you, which you signed. And it's between there and this, that, and the other. It vanishes from there and it appears over there. Lovely finale. So start with this, as Jamie said, but you're starting with it in a different way. So you actually start with a trick, but you come full circle. Then kick into this, which is a beautiful opener for everyone to enjoy the magic. And then it's your choice, really. If I had to make a decision, I will probably go... I don't know. They're all great. I'm going to go for that. Jamie's going to go for that. And I could possibly go for that as well. But I'm going to stick... It's my act. I'm going to do that. And that, to me, is a solid act, whether you're a beginner in magic, whether you're a pro in magic. This is a solid act. And that will cost you less than £50. Do you want me to work out the price? £44.50. £44.50. And that is a solid act. So that's the act for this week. We did have Professor's Nightmare, Hopping Dice, UFO Coin, and the Crystal Coin Case. That's a super solid act for less than £50.